French horn friends, I thought I would make this video to just give an update since my last video a year ago where I was talking about the possibility of injury while you are playing with a lot of intense air on your instrument. Basically, I did go to the doctor and we decided to check out to see if I had a hernia, and everything came back just fine. So I don't have a hernia. I did have a conversation with the lady who was doing the scan, and I know they're not supposed to like tell you anything, but I was explaining to her where I was having the discomfort, and she told me, well, there is a diaphragm between the liver and the lungs. What had happened was a year ago in January, after I was having discomfort, I just rested and things felt better. But I was in such discomfort during that time that I was, my sleep was disrupted. And I would have to sleep. If I was laying in the bed, I would have to stretch so that there was no pressure on this area under my ribs. If I bent my torso, I just didn't feel good. It felt like sometimes it felt like there was a balloon up in there. In April, January, February, March, April, so 3 months after my injury, I went up to Canada because my mother's health was failing. So during that time, I borrowed a French horn from the high school, which explains those videos that I made. I was taking care of my mother with my sister. My sister and I were taking care of my mother. I wasn't practicing. I just, on a cold lip, played. Actually, I don't even think I posted those videos. I'll have to check. Anyways, my mother passed away in June, and then I came back home in August, and I started my new school year teaching. So this is my second year back at a public school elementary position, and it's been amazing. So after I returned home, I got COVID. And I was coughing so violently that I re-injured this area under my ribs. So that was in August, September, October. In November, I got sick again with strep throat. After 3 months of resting and recovering, I got strep throat. This time I tried to not cough hard because I realized that if any oxygen is just being forced out of my lungs, this area hurts. That's why, a hernia was ruled out. It's plausible that I have an injury to my diaphragm. And so I did cough really hard a few times, and it hurt that area, but it wasn't like before. The technician who I had talked to about the diaphragm said that I should probably go talk to a pulmonary doctor. So I think that's going to be the next step if I continue having issues with this. So that's that. Now, at my elementary school, I'm working on teaching the kids about the instrument families. So I'm probably going to take out my single horn and do some playing for them. So I think I'll make a few videos about that, about playing. And I'll take the angle of how do you get back into practicing when you haven't practiced forever. I'm just older now, and I'm working at conserving my energy. And so I'm excited to pick up the horn and see if I can conserve my energy, conserve my air, and still have a good time and still enjoy what I'm doing. Which brings me to talk about, well, what am I doing? What am I focusing on? The thing that I'm focusing on is the one thing that I'm selling the most in my Teacher Pay Teacher store: musical arrangements for children's choirs and my French horn arrangements. When I was in middle school and high school, my dad would play the piano and I would play a solo in church. And so several of my French horn arrangements that are at my Teacher Pay Teacher store are based on the actual arrangements that my dad and I would put together. I'll put the link to my store in the description. Thanks for watching.